What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show. My name's Kyle. July 12th, Wednesday evening here, 6 o'clock Central Time. We're going to do the ESPN PPR Mock Draft. I'm drafting from the 7th spot tonight. The draft lobby just opened up. I'm going to hop into a screen share here for us. And yeah, we're going to have some fun. We got some guys drafting with us in the lobby. Good evening to Harris. Good evening to Aiden. Looks like Aiden's pick 3, Harris is pick 4. And then shout out to the sneaky snake in the back there, Jake Phillips at number 12. We'll see what he's going to do. He's a longtime friend. We'll see what kind of players he is looking into. And then looks like we got about 45 seconds here. I just want to do some maintenance real quick. DraftKings is running an amazing deal right now, guys. They're doing a best ball promo week where every day this week they're uploading a new promo, and today it's enter the NFL Best Ball $10 millionaire to earn 10 DK dollars back. So essentially, all you have to do is have $10 in your account. You put it into the contest, and then as soon as that contest fills, it's going to put $10 back into your account. You can do it 3 times. So they're giving us 3 free chances at the NFL Best Ball millionaire on DraftKings. And then, hey, if you're not on Drafters yet, I just had someone sign up with my promo code. So shout out to Jay Leb. He just signed up today. He got his $20 cash bonus. I got my $20 kickback. Drafters.com. There's a link in the description. Use the promo code TheFellowKGB, and you're on your way to a free $20. So here we go. We're getting ready for the draft here. It just officially started. And yeah, let's have some fun, guys. Good luck. And for me at 7, I did put Travis Kelce as the thumbnail guy. Basically, I just look up and see whoever's ranked at that spot that I'm picking at that night, and we'll put him as the thumbnail, and we'll try to get him on the team. It looks like Aiden goes with Jamar Chase. All the picks are going to be rolling in here at the bottom. Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey, Jamar Chase to Tobin, and Austin Eckler for Harris. Good pick there. Cooper Kupp, Bijan Robinson. We're on the clock right now, so I do get Travis Kelce here. I think this is pretty fair value. I do think Travis Kelce is the clear tight end one again. No surprises here. And what's cool about this one, it's going to give me a different mock draft than what we do. I usually hammer wide receivers early, but let's get Travis Kelce on the squad and see what can happen. And then, yeah, we're going to see what Team Phillips does here at the back end. In terms of my projections, I don't have Travis Kelce ranked super highly in my flex rankings. I do have him, let's see, I have him ranked 12th. So I still get my top 12 player. But what he provides at the position for tight end is a huge bonus. So he is worth, to me, a mid first round pick. So I like Kelce there. And our guy Jake Phillips is on the clock right now. And hey, if you guys are just joining us, don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you are new. We're just going to be kicking it for the next half an hour or so doing this mock draft. Next week, I'm not going to be able to do a Wednesday night mock, so I'm probably going to either do it Tuesday night or Thursday night. Cool thing, I'm going to be on the radio on Wednesday. I got someone hit me up, a Pennsylvania radio station hit me up. They want to talk Steelers for about a 12-minute segment. So I got that going on next Wednesday night, and then I have some family in town. So next Wednesday night, no live PPR mock draft, but we will have fun with a mock draft at some point that week. I'm on the clock right now. A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle. We could look at running backs, Tony Pollard and Breece Hall. I'm liking these receivers, AJB, Wilson, and Waddle. Let me see what we got here. I have A.J. Brown as my top-ranked wide receiver here, so that's probably what I'm going to go with. I think you can make a case for all these guys here, but I want to get access to that Eagles offense. So we'll start with Travis Kelce at the 7th overall pick, and then we get A.J. Brown at the 18th pick. I want to see what our guy Jake did. He did Stephon Diggs and Nick Chubb, so a nice, well-balanced start here. And then it looks like Harris is on the clock right now, and Harris did start his draft with Austin Eckler. So we'll see what he's got to say. And he goes Patrick Mahomes. All right. So he pulls Mahomes to be his QB1, and he's already got Austin Eckler. So he's got 2 chances at getting the top scorer at those positions. That feels pretty good. And then Aiden comes back with Tony Pollard. So he starts Jamar Chase, Tony Pollard from the 3 spot. So pretty good stuff here so far. And then before I pick at 31, I just want to say too, like I've been doing a mock draft a week. I have sprinkled in some Yahoo, some Sleeper. I want to do an NFL.com mock at some point and just continue to get different softwares and apps on here. But if you guys have any requests, let me know what platform you want me to use. what pick, how many teams, full PPR, half PPR, that kind of thing. I can queue up a custom mock draft for you if you want to watch. But otherwise, yeah, check out the playlist. I'm going to probably link it in the comments or something. Find your pick, do what you got to do. But hey, let's recap. After I took AJ Brown, you see Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle, Harris takes Mahomes at 21, Aiden takes Tony Pollard here at 22, Breece Hall, Ramondre Stevenson, and the second round here. And the beginning of the third round kicks off with Najee Harris, Travis Etienne. Aiden grabs Jalen Hurts, and then Harris grabs Aaron Jones, Chris Olave, and Josh Allen. And we're on the clock right now. It's telling me DK Metcalf is the best available. We got T. Higgins, Devonta Smith, Joe Mixon, Jahmyr Gibbs, all fine picks here. I'm thinking I like the receivers, DK, Devonta, and T. Higgins here. I think I have all these guys ranked as like second round picks. I like Devonta Smith. I like Metcalf. I already have AJ Brown, so I don't know if I want to dive into that. So I'm just going to collect. I'm going to collect T. Higgins. Oh, it gives me Metcalf. I probably would have taken Higgins there, but that's okay. We ran out of clock here, but we get DK Metcalf, who I feel pretty strongly about him being a wide receiver too in my fantasy lineup. And you never know, like if he goes and catches his 10, 12 touchdowns that we're used to seeing, I do think he has top 10 upside at the position. So I like DK Metcalf quite a bit. Third round pick on him, I think is just fair. You can argue too that Tyler Lockett might be a better option, but I do think the touchdowns are going to swing DK's way this year. My sleeper and Ridley climbing up boards, and yeah, Ridley in the best balls that I do, he's a late third round pick right now, so he is definitely someone that will probably continue to rise. And I think once we see him in training camp, that's the thing too. Training camp start. I think rookies report next week for a lot of teams, and then the week after is when all the veterans are in. But you're going to probably see Calvin Ridley creep up boards. After I took DK Metcalf here in the third round, you see T. Higgins, Devonta Smith, Joe Mixon. There's Jahmyr Gibbs. That's a good pick. I like Gibbs a lot. I would have considered him if he fell. Jake gets Joe Burrow and Christian Watson, Amari Cooper, Dameon Pierce, Mark Andrews, and Rachaad White. I'm on the clock again. You got Debo, you got Keenan, you got Lamar, you got Godwin, Deontay, Sanders. I don't know if I'm in love with all of these running backs here. I'm going to make the case for Keenan Allen here, who I feel pretty good about as my wide receiver 3 flex. He's a guy that he balled out last year. You look at what he did when he returned from injury. I mean, I think he was like a top 5 wide receiver from week 11 on. You see 12, 15, 20, 21, 16, 21, 11, and 30. He only caught 4 touchdowns in this time, but what I like with Keenan Allen is the targets, man. You see 4 games of double-digit targets, 9, 7, 8. He's a high-volume player in PPR leagues. This is what I'm looking for. I know he's 31 years old, but it just kind of feels like the Chargers are kind of in this all or nothing. They're a Super Bowl or bust team. They got to stay healthy. They got to put it together. They've had a good offseason. I'll take a stab at one of the best offenses in fantasy football this year. So we got an Eagle, a Seahawk, a Chief, and a Charger. I'm feeling pretty good about those offenses. Let's see here. After I took Keenan Allen, you see Debo, Madison, DJ Moore for Harris, Calvin Ridley to Aiden Tobin. He collects him at 46th overall. Lamar Jackson, TJ Hawkinson to finish the 4th round too. That's a pretty decent value there on Lamar Jackson. The best ball drafts that I do, he's kind of like a mid to late 3rd round pick. So you get him here at the end of the 4th. Feels pretty good. And then, man, DeAndre Hopkins, I don't know if you guys saw, I put a YouTube short up before this video or before this live stream. The Tennessee Titans have taken the lead to be the team that signs DeAndre Hopkins. So that's something to keep an eye on. Chris Godwin goes after D-Hop, Jerry Jeudy, Terry McLaurin. I need running backs. I think Sanders, Kenneth Walker, these are all guys that I'm pretty interested in. I could also maybe look at a guy like J.K. Dobbins. James Conner might be okay, but I think at this point we're going to probably continue to lean and continue to build. I like some of the receivers coming up here too. I think Deontay Johnson just went, but he would have been a good pick. Miles Sanders off the board. So I'm up to pick. I've already got DK Metcalf, so I don't know if I want Kenneth Walker. I think he's a fine pick. I don't know if I want to be too invested in the Seahawks offense. I could get Mike Williams here and double dip with Keenan Allen and Big Mike. I can get Mike Evans. I can get Darren Waller. But I'm going to do something different. I'm just going to lock in. I'm going to lock in J.K. Dobbins, who I am relatively high on. In my rankings here, I have J.K. Dobbins as like a top 36 player, which means I think he's a 3rd round value based on my projections. And I do have him coming in here at running back 15. So I like J.K. Dobbins quite a bit. I know he's kind of unhappy with his contract situation, but hey, he's in a contract year. If he's running angry, he's got to make some money. We'll take J.K. Dobbins here in the 5th round too. I know he had his ups and downs last year, but he actually ended the year pretty strongly. I like these last 4 games from J.K. Dobbins. He had a lot of carries, all double-digit carries. He had 2 100-yard games, only scored 1 touchdown in this span too. And I do think he's going to be more used as a receiver this year with new offensive coordinator Todd Monken. So I'll grab J.K. Dobbins here to be kind of my anchor running back, and we will reevaluate. Otherwise, I mean, I liked Kenneth Walker there. I liked Mike Williams a lot. I like Drake London. That was a great pick there by Jake. He also grabbed Isaiah Pacheco. But yeah, London's one of those guys that I like quite a bit in full PPR leagues. I think he's going to, be catching 4 or 5 balls a game at least. But we're back up to pick here. I'm going to take someone that I don't think I've taken yet in one of these mock drafts. It's a running back here. Marquise Brown's fine. Tyler Lockett's fine. I've already filled out my 3 starting receivers. We have the tight end locked in there with Kelsey, so that feels pretty good. But I'm going to take Cam Akers here to be my running back too. We get him here at pick 66. It feels pretty good. And kind of like J.K. Dobbins, this is the guy that was coming back off of a serious injury last year, that Achilles injury the year before. Look at how he ended the year. He was one of the best running backs in fantasy football. He had 3 straight 100-yard games. He had a huge 3-touchdown game here against Denver. That game was a nightmare for Denver, if you guys remember. And he was actively involved as a receiver. He had, 3, 1, 2, and 3 receptions these last 4 games. A high floor of 13 to 15 points here, even without some of the touchdowns in these games. I feel pretty good about Akers being at least a running back too. And man, if the Rams are better than we think and they're giving Akers all the touches, I think there might be chance for Akers to be a sneaky RB1 in fantasy football this year. So I like Cam Akers a lot. We're back on the clock again. Alvin Kamara is sitting here at the top of the board. Brandon Cooks, Michael Thomas, Jahan Dotson, James Cook. There's Treylon Burks. We talked about him. But we're kind of filled out, with all of our stuff here. I feel pretty good about our starting roster so far. I could take Alvin Kamara here and just see what happens, and let's do it. At pick 79, I'll just throw him on my team. I know he's going to be suspended at some point, hopefully before training camp that gets issued. But I'm bracing for a 4-game suspension with Alvin Kamara. I've already got J.K. Dobbins and Cam Akers at my RB2 spots. I got Keenan Allen in the flex. So basically, we just need to grab another running back to hold us off for a month and some more receivers to basically prepare for that Alvin Kamara out for at least 4 games, maybe 6 games at the most. And at this point, hey, I'm just trying to do something different here. 7th round, Alvin Kamara, it sounds okay. When he comes back, I think he's going to be a low-end RB2. So I will dabble with that. Some guys that I like here in the queue, James Cook. I could take Treylon Burks, who I mentioned. Might get sniped from DeAndre Hopkins coming to town. Otherwise, I mean, Daniel Jones is down here. He should probably be picked up right now. Let me look at the quarterbacks around him. I can get Tua. I can maybe try and get Tua Tagovailoa on the comeback here. I'm not a fan of Jacoby Myers. Samaje Perine could be of use to us. Let me look at some of the other receivers here. Nothing really sticking out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab Samaje Perine because he's one of those guys that, with Javonte Williams coming back from injury too, I think Samaje Perine could be of great use to us the first month and a half, maybe even 2 months. And then again, that kind of complements Alvin Kamara. I'm going to use Perine as my RB3. When Kamara is ready to play, we can maybe mix it up. And yeah, the A.J. Dillon hype. I like A.J. Dillon. I like A.J. Dillon a lot, but I view him more as a guy that, like, towards the end of the year, I think he is a guy that I would probably want on my team. So if you want to grab him and put him on your bench as your RB3 or 4, I like him there. But he is historically, I mean, he's a bruising running back. I think the Packers want to run the ball a lot more this year. So I do think he's got, flex potential. Any given week, he's going to get his 8 to 12 touches. But for, the fantasy playoffs, like November into December, like I think A.J. Dillon, when the weather gets cold, that's when A.J. Dillon starts running hot. So I like him as like a stash pick. But for me, Samaje Perine, man, I don't trust Javonte Williams coming back from that multi-ligament knee injury. I think Samaje Perine is going to be a guy that has, steady RB2 production for the entire season. So I like grabbing Perine here. I have 4 running backs. I have 3 receivers. So I do need some more. But Tua Tagovailoa is still hanging here. I know he's got headache issues, guys, but until he gets another one, I'll worry about it later. I can always draft a QB2, but hey, we get Tua here, and it's kind of what I was talking about with these redraft leagues. I want to get exposure to some of the best offenses. I'm pretty freaking excited about the Dolphins with Waddle and Tyreek Hill and some of the running backs that they got there. So we'll grab Tua. I think he's a sleeper for a top 10 quarterback finish, and yeah, they're going to be in some fun games this year. They have a good schedule. We'll grab Tua here. And now we have our starting roster filled out. We got Tua at the QB. We got J.K. Dobbins, Cam Akers as our starting backs. A.J. Brown, D.K. Metcalf, Keenan Allen as our starting receivers. Travis Kelce locking down the tight end point. So I don't really see a glaring weakness there with that starting lineup. It feels pretty good. And then Kamara and Pirine off the bench right now. That kind of solidifies us some running back wiggle room. And it kind of, again, I like the meshing of Pirine with Kamara. You could also try pairing Kamara with a guy like Jamal Williams, who's still on the clock right now. So we should see. My collecting forgot talent due to injuries on down years. But yeah, I'm probably looking at some receivers here. I think there's a lot of good ones available still. Kadarius Toney, I'm not super excited about Kadarius Toney. A lot of good quarterbacks available too. You can get Geno, Russ, Anthony Richardson. I'm going to grab the Chargers rookie though. We'll grab Quentin Johnston. If you are nervous about Keenan Allen or Mike Williams getting hurt, you should be drafting Quentin Johnston because that means he's just going to get more opportunity if that were to happen. So we get a potential replacement for Keenan Allen if that happens. And again, he might be a guy that we flex at some point. And when I take a guy like Quentin Johnston, yeah, maybe he's not having the best month to start the season, but who knows? Again, those injuries pop up or he starts getting ramped up. Rookie receivers towards the end of the year, they are a hot commodity. They usually charge pretty highly towards November into December. So I'll collect Quentin Johnston there on my bench, my wide receiver 4. I would like a couple more receivers since we're a little bit light on depth. I think guys that stick out to me, you got Zay Flowers, another rookie. I like Sky Moore quite a bit. I love Nico Collins quite a lot. Elijah Moore, another one of Aiden's favorite sleepers. There's a lot of good receivers here still on the board for us to tack on to our squad. We'll do a recap of all your guys' teams at the end of the video here. I think we're just kind of we're just flying through it right now. Aiden steals Nico Collins, so he gets one from me. But man, look at the QBs. Geno just went, but Russ this late feels pretty good. There's Raheem Mostert, Michael Gallup. I'm going to grab Zay Flowers here. Again, just another rookie that I think could, again, Odell Beckham and Rashad Bateman, like we don't really trust them to stay healthy for a full season. I think Zay Flowers is a high-profile first-round rookie receiver that, much like Quentin Johnston, he might not be, a hot start, but who knows? Maybe at some point he ramps up, to get us to where we need to go. So because I have Kelce, I don't know if I need to draft a backup tight end. I think that's one thing that I feel pretty strongly about. I don't care about Kelce's bye week. It's week 10. If Kelce gets hurt, my team is probably dead anyways. But if I need to pick up a tight end for the bye week, I will do so. I will worry about it later. I'm not going to – essentially, I just don't want to burn one of my bench spots with a backup tight end because I'm never starting him over Travis Kelce. I will never do that. So I'd rather, stock up on these rookies, stack up on some of these high upside running backs too. I might have to grab one of those guys. Let's see here. I missed out on Sky Moore. That one would have been nice. He's probably my favorite Chiefs receiver to grab because he's so cheap here. I'd rather have him over Kadarius Toney. Toney just goes a little bit higher. And Aiden, we get him. I get Elijah Moore here to be our wide receiver 6. So he's one of the biggest missed prices right now on ESPN. I think in my best ball drafts, he's an 8th round pick. And right now you're getting him in the 12th round here. Good pick there by Harris. I like Rashad Bateman quite a bit. And Aiden gets Chigozie Okonkwo. I think he's a tight end that everyone's pretty high on. And even if D-Hop signs with the Titans, I don't think my stance is going to move too much. I might lower some of his numbers a little bit, but I still think he's a fringe tight end 1. And yeah, Elijah Moore, man, he is a fun PPR pick. I don't get it, man. He's a 12th round pick on here. He makes a lot of sense for teams that need receivers this late. Pivoting back to running backs here. You could get some of these high upside rookie running backs here. Roshan, Kendra Miller, Tank Bigsby's down here. I think you should go into your draft and try to grab at least one rookie running back. Hold on to them. I even like, a guy like Gus Edwards is an interesting player. Deonta Foreman could lead the team, lead the Bears in rushing this year. We just don't know. But we're up to pick. I have Tua. I don't know if I need a QB2. Stafford, Pickett, like maybe. Let's look at the receivers. Nothing's really sticking out here. I've already got a bunch of rookies in third year. Elijah Moore. I'm just going to grab Kendre Miller. One, I like Kendre because I already have Kamara on my team. Kendre's going to get a nice look at starting time when Kamara is out. So we'll grab him, put him on the bench. We have one more bench spot to fill. I don't hate grabbing another rookie running back here, whether it's Roshan, maybe Tajay. I like Kenneth Gainwell quite a bit as well. Nothing else really sticking out to me down here at the running back spot. Wide receivers, again, Jonathan Mingo could still be a dude that gets a lot of play. One of my favorite receivers is, you could take a suspended Jameson Williams. That seems like an Aiden Tobin pick. I think he likes Jameson quite a bit here. But Mingo, Tim Patrick's probably a guy that should be drafted. I think, and I'll grab Tim Patrick. We're loaded up at running back and wide receiver here on our bench, and I think that's something I want to pound into you guys for philosophy. You should be taking a lot of running backs and wide receivers on your bench. If you need 2 tight ends, that's fine. I think in a 1 QB league, I do not love rostering 2 QBs because when the draft is done, guys, and say Tua is hurt, like that's fine. If Tua is hurt, I can go to the wire. I can grab Kenny Pickett. I can make something work. I can always make a trade if I hit on some of my other picks here. I want to commit to 1 QB and go from there. But at this point, the draft is done. I'll grab a defense here. Not sure which one I'm liking. Basically, I just want to grab a team that's going to win some games this year. The Eagles are pretty low. The Chiefs are pretty low too. I like the Chiefs defense. That one seems pretty cheap. My favorite defense is probably the Saints to draft. And yeah, taking, you want those bullets, man. You want those rookie players because especially with rookie running backs, man, if they get a chance to start and they look good, and especially like a guy like Kendre Miller, who I think he might have more juice than Jamal Williams right out of the gate, and it might be like really obvious right off the bat here. So I'm just going to grab the Ravens defense. We'll go with that. And then our kicker, we don't care who it is. I just want to get a good kicker on a good offense. McManus for the Jags is interesting. I seem to always take Riley Patterson in these mock drafts here. He's kind of my go-to kicker. He gets like at least 10 games indoors. Jason Sanders is another kicker that I think I like. Cardinals aren't going to score a lot of points. Cameron Dicker. Chargers go for too much. They go for 4th downs. I'm just going to stick to my default, Riley Patterson. And there we go. That's our draft. Let me recap it for you. We started off, I'll go in order of the roster. We have Tua Tagovailoa as our QB1. I did not draft a QB2. We'll find one on the waiver wire if it happens. J.K. Dobbins, Cam Akers, our 2 running backs here. A.J. Brown, D.K. Metcalf, and Keenan Allen, our top 3 wideouts. Travis Kelce, our first-round pick at the tight end spots. I feel really good about that starting lineup. And again, it feels like there's no glaring weaknesses. It's pretty solid. And then we came back with Alvin Kamara, who we're going to, roster until he's ready to play. Samaje Perine will be our RB3 while Kamara is away. Took some rookies here, Quentin Johnston, Zay Flowers. We grabbed Elijah Moore. We grabbed Kendre Miller late, and then Tim Patrick to be kind of another wide receiver we pull up off the bench. So I think it's a pretty solid draft. Ravens and Riley Patterson there to end the draft. And Yo Man Joe, join the next mock draft. Yeah, so I try to do these Wednesday nights going forward. I think next week, though, I can't do it on Wednesday night. So it's either going to be Tuesday or Thursday. If you want me to commit to one, let's just go with Tuesday night next week for now, 6 p.m. Central Time. And then what I do, so the way ESPN works is because I want a draft that starts at 6 p.m. Central Time, they don't open that lobby until 5:45 my time. So 15 minutes before the live stream, I will post the lobby link in here. And also, too, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I can always DM you the lobby link as well so you don't miss it. So check us out there. And, yeah, man, we'll get you in the next mock draft if we can. And then let's review Aiden Tobin from the 3 spot. Jalen Hurts is his QB1. Tony Pollard, Javonte Williams is his 2. Jamar Chase was his first-round pick. Calvin Ridley at his wide receiver 2 spot. Chigo Okonkwo, his starting tight end. And Jerry Jeudy. So it's a pretty well-balanced start. I do think he might need a running back to pitch in and carry the load of the RB2. I think Javonte Williams might be a little bit slow to start the year. I think I want Javonte on my team, but when you take Javonte, you have to know that, again, he might be a little bit slow. He's not going to get a lot of carries and touches right away. But by December, he might be the dude that you need to win your championship. So I like rostering Javonte and then basically building in some upside with some other guys to start early. On his bench, he's got Christian Kirk. He's got Kirk and Ridley. He's got Brandon Ayuk, so another fun wide receiver. There's Antonio Gibson, who I think is a good pick there with Javonte, Damian Harris, Nico Collins, Devon Achane, and Rashawn Johnson. So I really like Aiden's construction here. It's a lot about what I just talked about. That philosophy is grabbing those bullets. And then, yeah, like, dude, I actually think you probably might even start Gibson over Javonte Williams week one. I think I'm more cautious about Javonte. I think, again, he might not be cleared for camp. We'll see. There's going to be more information on that. But as of today, I think Gibson might be your RB2 to start the year. And then maybe we mix in Javonte. But Gibson in a PPR pick, man, it feels pretty good. So good team there, Aiden. Let's look at Harris's team here. He starts with Patrick Mahomes. No complaints there. Austin Eckler and Aaron Jones, great PPR backs. Receivers are DJ Moore and Terry McLaurin. Irv Smith at the tight end spot here. And then DeAndre Swift in the flex. He's got Tyler Lockett to compete for the flex as well. Khalil Herbert, Juju Smith-Schuster, Adam Thielen, Jalen Warren, Rashad Bateman, and Tank Bigsby. I like the bench quite a bit. I do think DeAndre Swift is one of those players that Harris and I disagree on. But if he's right, like, Swift could be a huge hit. I think for me, I'm probably putting Tyler Lockett in the flex week one. And then we just need to see how the Eagles are going to handle this running back situation. I'm nervous about it. It could go either way, but I do like putting Swift on my team just in case he is a hit. But Khalil Herbert, again, starting running back for the Bears. Juju Smith-Schuster, as long as he's healthy and good to go, he's probably going to lead the Patriots in receptions. Adam Thielen, he's one of those guys that I think could get off to a hot start. Who knows if he can stay healthy and keep it all together. But then, yeah, I love Jalen Warren, Rashad Bateman, Tank Bigsby. Those are all great bench picks. And then, yeah, Harris identified something that's weird with ESPN's ADP. Like, Bateman should not be going. He should not be going this late. I like Rashad Bateman for where he's going at. So good squad there, Harris. And then let's look at my man Jake Phillips. He was in the 12 spot. His quarterback is Joe Burrow. Running back one, Nick Chubb. Isaiah Pacheco at the 2. Receivers are Stephon Diggs, Christian Watson, Dalton Kincaid at tight end. Interesting. That's kinky. Drake London at the flex. I love that. JSN off the bench. Pickens off the bench. Brian Robinson off the bench. That's a really good 3 guys that he might have to dip into at some point to replace players above them. Singletary, not sure how I feel about it. I like Tyler Higbee. I might even start Tyler Higbee over Kincaid week one. I think Kincaid's one of those guys that, again, a rookie, you put him on your bench, let things evolve and see how it goes, and you can reevaluate it. Jane Reed, another rookie that, again, not going to probably do anything right away for our team, but he could eat into other players' workloads. And then Tyler Algier. So, yeah, this is a really good squad from Jake. It's well-rounded. He's got some good competition for his RB2 spot with Brian Robinson, Singletary, and Algier. He's got good deep flex options with London, JSN, Pickens, even some of the running backs down here. So Jake built a pretty good team. Yeah, this was fun, man. This was fun. So we'll be back next week for a live mock draft. I think, again, I'm going to commit to Tuesday night next week, and then we'll return back to our Wednesday schedule. But otherwise, hey, thank you guys for your time. I enjoyed drafting. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Who had the best draft? Let me know. And are you taking Travis Kelce at 7th overall in a full PPR mock draft? Either way, have a good night, guys. We'll see you in a future draft. Peace.